good morning, and good night. Thanks again for downloading the Body Snatchers podcast. And when you listen, stream, or download straight to your device, Castbox is your best option. Castbox is a free platform on your computer or mobile device that promotes podcasts just like ours to millions of listeners worldwide. Go to the App Store or Google Play and look for the orange symbol. If you're listening on your computer, go to castbox.fm and look for our show. Remember, if you like what you hear today, don't forget to subscribe and comment. So let's get started with Steve, Tino, Gia, and John with the news. Enjoy the show.
All right, happy holidays, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and good night. You're listening to the Body Snatchers podcast, a place where everyone's 18 and your acting career remains intact. That website is bodysnatcherspodcast.com. We have the links to everything Body Snatchers, including apps you listen to for our show, social media portals for your desired nerd paradise, and the Body Snatchers shop where, look, we know it's cold for some of you. We hate seeing you like this. It kills us to see you like this. Therefore, we have hoodies that are such great quality that when you wear it, the only cool thing about you is that you fuck with the Body Snatchers podcast. So don't miss out. Tino, Gia, what's up?
I would just like to point out that when you're in warmer climates like me, where it's 80 degrees, you could just like chill with the tank top and the t-shirt.
Slut!
Hey, California life.
Or, if you got gains like me, you can just wear the tank top all year round because you're a cocky piece of shit.
Yeah, I was about to say, you probably cold as hell, though, because you ain't got weight like you used to.
But I will look so cool. Unlike Steven, he's got those baby arms.
Nah, because you're going to have holes in the shirt from them nips poking out.
I hear that's what turns on most women.
Yeah, Tino Slim, all that low impact cardio is paying off.
Yeah.
All you do is cardio. You're weak.
I don't do no cardio.
Your bloodline is weak.
That's what I say. He too chunky to do cardio.
Cardio is for women trying to find a new husband. I don't fuck with that.
I don't know what you're picking up and putting down. It must be cheeseburgers because I don't see nothing coming in yet. So
in the gym, they have all those treadmills so that they collect people to stay away from the real equipment. So they just walk on the treadmill. They feel like they're doing something good, and then they go home.
Do you just walk into the gym and judge people?
I walk into the gym, I flex for 20 minutes, and then I start throwing steel, if you must know.
He walks into the gym, he sits down on the bench, and he watches other people pick up and put down stuff. And then he watches the people walking on the treadmill, and then he breaks a sweat.
Wow. I was at the gym tonight, and I saw a fork at my feet on the bench when I was lifting, and I'm just like, how the fuck did a fork get in here? Steven had to have been here.
Are you at one of those gyms that have pizza and snacks and shit like that?
No, fuck no. That's why I was so surprised. Like, I was just staring at it in awe, just like, oh no, it's a sign of the apocalypse.
All right, so now 'tis the season you spend with your family and friends. You see them all the time, but holidays grant you a different experience, of course, once a year. So what do you guys got planned? Something cool?
I think I'm going to be mainly just working on costumes and catching up on video games. So I recently got Dot Hack. And then, of course, the new Pokemon Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun came out. So I'm just going to be catching up on that as well as like just hanging out with my family. So nothing too big. There's no conventions or even little small things. Oh, I take that back. I'm actually going to be interning to learn leatherworking. I meet with the lady next week. So I'm going to be learning how to do that. So I'll be, I guess, learning leather armor soon.
Oh, shit.
It's pretty exciting.
So you can make assless chaps? Asking for a friend, of course.
That's not leather armor, but yes, I could make that right now, actually, because assless chaps are like more of a fabric leather than like a thick hide leather.
Nice. We'll talk later.
You need to stock up on baby powder now for two reasons. One,
good God.
Well, yeah, I mean, one, you need it for your leather suit. And two, once you put on that leather gear, you're probably going to be having another baby coming around the corner. So stock up on your baby powder. What do you mean? Well, the West Coast Choppers, Hell's Angels, and all that shit, that's all those fucking dudes wears leather. They're really cool.
They love their motorcycle.
Remember South Park? Fucking losers. That's like leather's cool, but they're still fucking losers. I don't care. So anyways, I'm going to be chilling. I got like 4 days off work. So I think Thanksgiving, the weekend, and the day after. I think we're doing like one or two really minor family things that I'm trying to get in and out pretty fast because I don't know, I'm antisocial when it comes to family. They're like,
that's what you always do.
Yeah, they're like, do you want to talk about love? And I'm like, no, I really want to go home and continue playing video games. I don't know, that's just how I am. I just recently finished South Park's Fractured Butthole, which has an awesome ending.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it was good. And then aside from that, probably just spend the weekend finishing up Daredevil and a couple of other things that recently came out. So,
Daredevil.
Did I say Daredevil? I was thinking.
You did say Daredevil.
I did.
I think you meant Punisher.
I did mean Punisher.
Left Frank.
Fucking stupid.
Wow. I'm sorry. I actually happened to just be looking at a Daredevil meme, and I guess it just worked together, and I didn't think it through.
All right, you didn't know.
Okay. All right. I'll take that L. I'll just continue drinking my milk. What about you, bitch? What are you doing?
Well, the same thing as you. I got the family thing going on. I took off 4 days of work because I can afford it. Usually I would work Thanksgiving, but I decided I'm done with that because one, they treat me like shit, and two, the money's good. But like if I just pick up during the week, I make that up, and I'm home for Thanksgiving. That one Thanksgiving that's once a year.
Well, you got 4 days off too?
Yeah.
Dude, fuck your family. Let's get together and do hood rat stuff.
Well, for Thanksgiving or Christmas Eve,
doing hood rat things with his hood rat friends.
whenever I go to Tino's family, I'm always there on time, and then it's like, hey, where's Tino? Oh, he's coming. Where's Tino? Oh, he's coming. Then fucking 11 p.m. when his whole family's drunk, he'll come in, say, hey.
Because I don't like seeing them that often. I mean,
he won't even come in the house all the way. He'll stay like in the living room or the kitchen.
In the doorway, like just ready to leave the whole time. Yeah, that's actually pretty accurate. But I don't think they're doing anything this year. So, I mean, you're more than welcome to come over. Like, I guess we can make official plans as if this is a personal phone call.
Yeah, we can do something. I definitely don't want to work. I want to have everything in order that I have to do before Christmas Day. I just want a game. I want to, let them play with their toys. Let me play with my toys,
like
movies.
Sexual toys?
I got enough sexual toys. Those fucking fleshlights are a waste of money, but I'll get into that some other time.
They are not a waste.
I got 2 of them. They say they're molds. I call bullshit on that.
La, la, la. You know what mold means, Steven? It means that it is a mold of the front part of the vagina and not the inside, because that would cause bacterial infections.
On who?
On the women.
Oh, Gia, I don't care, man. If they say it's a mold of her vagina, I want it inside and out.
Okay, and it is of the outside of it.
What about the inside?
If you read the description, it tells you what the inside is.
Steven, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is your fleshlight on a keychain because your dick is so small?
Fuck out of here.
Hey.
I got both jumbo sizes.
There is no jumbo size. That's how I know you're lying. Mine's glow in the dark.
I almost got the vampire one, but I thought that was a little bit too extra.
That's weird. But with glow in the dark, you can do it in shame, so you don't have to see all the shame, like just that element.
Yeah, you can't get rid of all the shame after you do it, but you can take it down some.
So anyways, on to other things, because that's how we do the holidays around here. And speaking of getting together with people, how do you guys feel about that whole Final Fantasy Comrades game? Me and Gia checked it out. What about you, Steven?
I haven't. I think you told me, but when you and Gia tell me something, it's like if you mention it once, it gets processed by some other person in my mind, and it'll get thrown out or saved. And I think you called me before this, like, you got to get this. Me and Gia were playing it for like 8 hours, and Gia's terrible. She doesn't like anything. So if she's gonna play that for 8 hours, how bad can it be? So right when you told me, I downloaded it. And
though,
What the hell do you mean I don't like anything?
Out of all my friends, though, I enjoy gaming with Gia the most, because whenever she gets a game and we're on the same page, like, we actually link up and play for hours on end, for weeks on end. We get our money's worth and we have a great time. In this particular game, I was able to play the beta, and I was kind of on the fence because I'm a huge Final Fantasy 15 fan. I have over 200 plus hours after beating the original game on, hard mode, did new game plus, all that shit. And the beta seemed kind of dry to me. But after today, the first time that I had a large amount of time to play the game, man, it's addicting as fuck.
Yeah, I'm curious how it even works.
Well, okay, so I agree with Tino about the beta. I only played it for a couple hours, and then I was kind of over it because there was a lot of content issues for me, and content's pretty big. So while you're making jokes about me barely liking games, there's plenty of games I like. I just don't like a lot of multiplayer games because a lot of times they get old fast.
I agree.
So
I agree. Go ahead.
Yeah. So but yeah, basically the way that Comrades works is that it's online, kind of like when you're playing Destiny by yourself, except you don't see other people in your town area. And when you go to link up with the friends that you do have, or even with randoms, basically you start a quest because you have quests, and then of course you have solo quests where you can only do it by yourself for like story progression for the DLC. But you have quests, you go, you pick them. You can either set it to where friends only can join, or you can set it to anyone. But either way, you make a random password, or you can just leave it on the preset password. And basically anybody with the password, or if you're just playing in an open thing, anybody can just kind of join in on it. And then they just kind of port into the same game, and then you're running the hunts together, you're running the quests together. So it's pretty cool.
So what are the quests? Are they like to a story, or are they like strikes where you're going to do them more than once?
It does have a story. Do you remember Final Fantasy 15? I know you played it probably nowhere near as much as I did, but remember they had the hunts that were like side mission quests at least. So pretty much they took the whole idea behind the hunts and went way, way deeper with it. And well, I guess to start off with that, like that's like just how it's set up. So you get a hunt doing whatever to unlock that through the story that they provide for you, and you go out and on the missions and you collect items and stuff, and when you come back you use that to upgrade your gear and your weapons, and you're slowly unlocking stuff in the story. So that's a lot of fun in itself.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
On top of that, when you finish hunts, you also get so the main story for it is there's that time in which Noctis has disappeared from, how do you say it, Eos? I
forget, but
either way, however it's said, he's disappeared from the world. And that's that time where he's in that stasis for like 10 or 15 years. And it's just basically chronicling everybody that got together to start trying to rebuild things. So your whole point in this game is to reconnect power grids, to reconnect the cities. So while you're doing this, you're doing the hunts, you're killing monsters, you're doing protection of buildings, tunnels, etc., to be able to gather energy so that you can, assert or basically restart all this power along the lines. So it just it takes that part, just like the other DLC has done, where it takes parts where like characters disappear, or it explains things about characters. In the case, well, not even really explains. It's all times when they disappear from the story, like when Gladiolus takes off and Prompto gets kidnapped. Like, it just kind of covers those things, except this blatantly covers the time that Noct is trapped in the crystal.
The time frame for them is fucking perfect. Steven, did you get a chance to watch Kingsgrave, the movie, animated movie that came out with this?
Nope, didn't finish it.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, Kingsgrave is like once Noctis like leaves the kingdom with Ignis and everybody else, in the Regalia. Kingsgrave is everything that's going on, like in their home city, and what happens when it falls, and his father dies, and how he died, and all this other shit that's going on in the kingdom. So this takes place, as Gia was saying, kind of in that time in between. So after the city has already fallen, after Noctis is in that weird state where he's like aging, I think it was 10 years, getting power and whatever else have you. They are trying to rebuild everything, and I just think it's really cool with the timeline how it fits. And then the power thing, I really wasn't expecting that. Like when I got into it, that's like one of the very first things you do. They kind of put you through a tutorial. You go and do your first mission, and then when you come back, you want to select stuff and it won't let you. It's just like, oh, we need power, and then you do your first hunt. And then when you come back from that, you've got X amount of I don't know if they do it in like wattage or volts. I forget what it is, but they some sort of
like kilowatts,
something like that.
It says kW, so I just assume.
Oh, then it's got to be kilowatts. Then I forgot. So you get that, and then like it's kind of like, you remember the sphere grid from the other Final Fantasy games? Where you like Final Fantasy X specifically is what it reminds me of. When you go around and you have X amount of points and you unlock something in the sphere grid, and then it gives you access to more shit. That's exactly what this is, except it's unlocking power. So when you turn power on the one area, it unlocks whatever, like a spot where you might be able to upgrade your weapons, or it might unlock an area where you can now travel to a new city or a new hunt that will have new supplies, all types of cool shit. Like they really went out of their way. The beta was fucking boring as hell, to be honest. Like you made a character, and I don't know, maybe because a lot of people didn't have the beta, but I mean, it took me forever to link up with somebody. And the AI in the beta was shit. But the AI on this game, like even if you can't link up with actual friends and comrades, the AI is like really, really good. Like you could solo play the shit out of this game and not have any issues.
All right, couple questions and one statement. The statement is Kamar is a trash bag. First question is, if somebody wanted to play this, do they have to finish the story in the actual game? Do you think?
I personally, I feel like you don't really have to, but some of the things that are nodded to probably wouldn't make a lot of sense if you didn't finish the game. But also, to be fair, most people that have this game and have either the season pass or downloaded the DLC have finished the game. So, I mean, I wouldn't just download Final Fantasy 15 and just, only download the DLC to play.
All right, and is there any form of PvP?
Not that I've seen so far,
No.
but I mean, it's Comrades, not PvP.
Yeah.
Online.
It's holding hands and carrying people on your back. So our friend Dalen, actually, one of the admins for the actual group that we have for Body Snatchers, he was actually like, I think after Tino took off, I think Tino ran one with all of us, right?
Yeah, I ran one. I hate being carried. I don't know.
Yeah, but he was carrying the shit out. You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I don't mind being carried. I like playing things, but if I can get like certain things unlocked faster and get like things to upgrade my weapons faster, it doesn't bother me too much. And it wasn't too bad, but it was like we were able to knock out some of the higher ranked urgent hunts because of him. And pretty much everything else we did by ourselves because he was off running his like level 70 or whatever the hell it is, And
I'm not going to let him carry me because I got too much pride for that shit. But I will say...
It's okay. I'm level 10 now, so we can run together and I'll just be the slightly higher level than you person.
Oh no! Don't worry. By myself, I was already, I think, level 9. So I'm about to lap that tonight.
So there's no restrictions like in Destiny where you got to have your light level to do shit with your friends. I can just jump into all of it, right?
Well, you have to have done a quest or have it unlocked in order to play with your friends. So there's no limitation. Like, how like some games do power scaling. So say like I'm level 20 and you're doing a level 3 mission. Like there's a lot of games where they'll power scale me down to the max level I could be for a level 3 mission. Like, no, which is kind of cool. So, I mean, like if I was like in Dalen's position, I could join your game and, carry it for you because I'd be so strong at that point. But consequently, I couldn't start a match and like bring you into a level 70 match that you've never been in because you're too weak. You haven't unlocked it yet, if that makes sense.
So they wouldn't let me in or I would just get slaughtered. There's no point.
Well, no, they wouldn't let you in until you have access to it. So if you've unlocked it,
you wouldn't even be able to select the mission that we're on that's higher than where you're at. You would only have access to select the missions that you have unlocked. So we would be able to join on you, or we would be able to start a mission or a party on the mission that you're on and you could join it, but you couldn't like magically join into one of ours if it's higher level than what you are.
But the payouts that you get are more than generous. So it's like even with you, Steven, with you starting now and me being on a much higher level and I've unlocked a ton of missions, like if I was to play a couple like on your level, like it's still going to give me a payout that is worth it. Like I'm going to get, the electricity points needed to unlock stuff in the city. I'm going to get a nice amount of gil that's going to come from that. And I'm also going to get items. And the items are really awesome. They, let you upgrade weapons and stuff. And that was one thing, the thing that I was thankful to Dalen for because when I was doing my weapons, there's a system where you can upgrade them. And anybody listening who's playing this game, pay attention to what I'm about to say. The weapon will have let's say 30 points. So you can put up to 30 items that upgrade the weapon. And once you get there, it's maxed out. Like that's it. It's over. Unless you're paying attention to the weapon. So when you look at the weapon, there's a bunch of tiny attributes underneath. And each weapon will have a little bar for a particular type of skill. So let's say like the sword, for instance, has a fire skill. If you put all fire items on there and power it up to where it's glowing, once that bar starts glowing, which I think for the sword is about 50 points, and you start adding weapons on top of that and finish like your goal of 30. And I know that sounds confusing, but once you get to the top and you fill it up to 30 and you've got that attribute glowing, the weapon, instead of stopping at 30 and just being, powerful and being maxed out, will unlock and like kind of evolve into a weapon that has like higher attributes and things that you can put onto it. And that was something that we overlooked. And once Dalen told us that, I mean, it's been smooth sailing since. So now we're
definitely
evolving weapons and making a lot of dope shit. And I'm not mad that I wasted time. I mean, it's like I didn't know. I was kind of playing around with the game, getting the feel. The good thing is, say you have like a katana, for instance, and you maxed it out and you didn't know what I know because you fucked up. It's okay. You can go back. You can buy another katana. They don't cost much money at all. And you just start over from scratch. So that's kind of how that would go.
Yep. And the other cool thing about the evolutions of the weapons is that one, it's all weapons that you know and love from the actual Final Fantasy 15 game that you can either buy or upgrade to later. So it's really awesome in that. And there's not only one upgrade. So generally there's about 2 for each of the weapons. And you just got to make sure you're careful because after you upgrade it the first time, the second time requires you to fill 2 separate attribute bars. So you kind of have to like balance it out on top of the experience that you get from items. So as Tino was saying, like it's not exactly based on like maybe like one item per level. Like some of the higher like rated items, it's exactly like that. But if you have a bunch of like lower ones and everything, you can use multiple of them to, make 1 level, 2 levels, etc. But you have to make sure that you're kind of balancing it because you get less levels to evolve it again. So as we mentioned, the katana that you have to evolve it the first time, it's 30 levels, and you have to make sure that you have like the strength attribute maxed out before it hits level 30. Then the next one you get has like the fist. I think it's like power, and then it has spirit on there. So you have to make sure that you're feeding items into it that have both of those attributes, kind of like maybe on an equal footing. And you really don't get those until you start doing like higher level hunts where you have items that drop, they give you, points in multiple attributes.
And it's absolutely worth your time to evolve your weapons because, like when I was hitting like 30, so let's say I got a katana and at its base level when you got it, let's say it does, 35 damage. By the time I hit, went all the way up to, level 30, I melded 30 items to it. And I didn't evolve it, it maxed out at maybe, let's say 80 damage. But when I went to 30 and I did it the way that I was supposed to, with highlighting those particular attributes that we were talking about, and it evolved instead of stopping, as soon as it hit that little evolution threshold, instead of it stopping at 80, that shit jumped all the way up to over 200. So it's like a massive evolution. It's definitely worth your time. Yeah, I mean, so because I was playing with a couple of people online who were only a little bit stronger than me, and I'm wondering, like, why the fuck are their, levels so goddamn high? What am I doing wrong? Like, maybe I got to unlock more weapons, but no, that wasn't the case. I just missed the evolution portion of the weapons.
Missed the memo.
Yeah, I mean, they don't explain it to you, but once we seen it, it's like, oh shit, how did I not notice that? It's like a really subtle thing.
Yeah, and it was funny to me because when Dalen told us, I was just in there like, what the F? What the F? And then he kept saying, yeah, you could just do it. And I'm like, okay, obviously I'm saying what the fuck because I want you to explain to me. I want you to explain to me how to do this because I don't understand. And I was sitting there wondering why, like at level 3, I was doing like, 14, 15 damage to things. Meanwhile, other people that were level 3 were doing like 150, 200. And I was just getting mad.
Well, one thing that was kind of cool, slightly off subject, is all the outfits and shit that are in that game. Like they start off with like the Kingsgrave gear, and I unlocked a bunch of extra shit like t-shirts and stuff like that. I had my character kind of looking like Ness, which was dope. But like when Dalen got on, Dalen fucking had an entire Moogle outfit that cost like a ton of money. He's been playing all week.
Yeah, like $74K.
Yeah, and it was just ridiculous. But the outfit was fucking cool as hell. Like we were making fun of him, but at the end of the day, like it was just hate. Like I'm hating on him. So Dalen, if you listen to this, I'm hating.
How good is that create a character? Because yours looks exactly like you. Did you scan or something, or did you just put in work?
No, there's no scan. Like it's actually got a lot of really good in-depth options and unlocks more stuff as you go along. So, I mean, usually like for creative characters, like I really like my characters to look like
Go
me,
ahead and
if
tell
possible.
us the journey
So
on the glasses.
20, 30 minutes. Oh yeah. Well, I remember in the beta that I had seen a character with glasses, even though I didn't have that option myself. So I went ahead and did a mission or two, unlocked the glasses, and I spent like 30 minutes like making my character look like me, and it looks so much like me. It's as if I took a picture of myself and then did like one of those weird like cartoon yourself filters. So it came out like really fucking dope. Like I'm super happy with it. In fact, I'm probably gonna just like be really lame and take more pictures and probably put them on our. I'll probably put them on our website later just for fun.
Yeah, because I looked at it and I'm like, I never seen a face scan this good. Like 2K does it a lot, and I'm like, I never seen one this clear. How did they get it so good?
Well, because so the way that the face thing goes is they give you like the option of combining two different like faces. So in Avatar version 1, you have like 6 faces, and in Avatar version 2, you have the same 6 faces, but you can pick any combination of the two. So for me, it was a little bit harder. My character doesn't really look like me, and there was no face combination that I could do with the alterations to ensure that it actually looked like me. So I mean, I got it. I think I got it as close as I'm going to get it. And I think if they gave it more range for like, for instance, the cheekbones or like the face shape, that it would be better for people like me. And like, for instance, they don't have like a freckles option, which kind of made me sad because I was like, where's my freckles at?
I think you should have freckles, but I think the options are pretty fair. I don't know. I'm tempted to log into your account to edit your character just to see if I can get it a little bit closer to yours.
I mean, you can try to, but you're probably not. I literally, like, that whole time that we were talking about me getting it, like I had the game for about 30, 40 minutes already, and I went through like all the different faces, went through a bunch of different combinations, adjusted like width of chin, height of chin, dip of chin, dip of nose. I got the nose to look pretty accurate. The eyes I couldn't get to look accurate. I think I got the eyebrows pretty good, but the cheekbones I couldn't do. Like no matter what face combination I did, the cheekbones just didn't do it right. So
well, you're the only person that would take the time to go out of their way to do the same shit that I did. That's so
Yeah,
funny.
you might have a knack for that. A long time ago, there was I don't even know if it's still up, this website called NeoSeeker. And
I remember that.
Yeah, it had forums on there. And when SmackDown versus Raw first came out, the create a superstar was like super in depth. Like you can get the shape of the eye and put it anywhere, shape of the lips, put it everywhere. And these dudes would charge to make, your exact copy or make a better version of a wrestler that's not even in the game. And there would be a lot of them. Maybe you can make a dime off this.
Maybe, potentially. That's something I can give a shot at. Now, the only issue that I have with this game, it's not really an issue. It's just something that needs to be said. As far as Gia and myself are, I haven't been really impressed with the magic capabilities yet because that's like one of your main attacks. I think through progression, and upgrading weapons, like one of the bonuses to upgrading the weapons outside of like putting something on the weapon, like, oh, the weapon will have a poison effect or a fire effect or ice effect, is that it also increases your magic abilities. So I saw a slight increase, but nothing that really impressed me yet. So magic has been like almost useless. But as far as the warp abilities, that's been really nice. It's not as cool as, Noctis, where it's just like, by the time you hit endgame with Noctis, or at least where I was 200 hours in, like I could warp as much as I wanted to with no drawbacks. You got a lot of drawbacks in there, so you have to space it out and time everything. But the warping has been great. And I did notice that if you get hit with like, let's say confusion, or poison yourself, from like a boss or something like that, if you go to the warp point where like you're hanging, not only will your health heal fast and your MP go up really quick, but it'll also cure, whatever status effect that's on you, and then you can go back in the battle. So that's, one tip if you were curious about that.
How's the landscape? Is it the same?
Beautiful. It's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, it's actually exactly the same as a lot of missions that you go on. So there's one hunt where you go on where you fight the Midgar Somar, and it's exactly the same place that you fight it in the regular gameplay. And I pointed that out to Dalen and also my friend that I was playing with when we got to that mission. And I mentioned it, and Dalen automatically was like, okay, cool. And then my friend was just like, oh, I don't recognize it. And I had to explain to him that the waterfall, like in the background, was where you get one of your weapons from the tomb. And he was like, oh shit, now I realize where I'm at. So it's really awesome. It's the towns that you know and love from the game.
Everything that it should be, because I'm pissed that like it took this long for it to come out. But at the same time, like I'm really happy that it actually has a storyline and it's a lot of fun to play with your friends.
All right. Well, what do you say we wrap it up and get on it?
All right, I'm down. If you're trying to play, man, let's make it happen. I'm ready to
Enjoy, because I'm gonna be sleeping. So, Steven, you need to catch up.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'll get him caught up tonight. He'll be at least level 10.
All right. Before we leave, again, that website is bodysnatchers.com. Any of our social medias, Facebook.
Motherfucker, no, it's not. Bodysnatcherspodcast.com.
Did I say podcast?
No, you didn't. It's bodysnatcherspodcast.com. If you want to find us on Twitter, bodysnatcherspc. So twitter.com/bodysnatcherspc. Instagram, Steven, go ahead, do the Instagram. Don't fuck it up either.
I want you to do it.
No, you didn't know it. Do it. This is
It's just Body Snatchers Podcast. That was a trick, and you didn't know it.
No, I did know it. This was your redemption, and you're welcome.
Well, we're all there, so don't be afraid to ask some questions. Even though Tino's a dickhead and he vapes, drop some love or suggest some topics that interest you. Just give us a message. And on behalf of all of us on the podcast, we want to wish you and your family the best this holiday season. Wherever you are in the world, whatever you choose to celebrate, good vibes towards you and the people you care about. So for Steve, Tino, Gia, and John, take the holiday season and cherish every moment. Tell someone you love them. Later.
Happy Christmas, Kwanzaa. Is that how you say it?
Happy
Christmas, Kwanzaa. There you go.
I want to say happy Thanksgiving, but there's nothing happy about how Thanksgiving went down.
Boy, Friendsgiving. Gonna eat all the noms.
Happy Friendsgiving. Yeah, there we go. I can fuck with that.
All right. Deuces.